Hey guys, stock episode 62. So get yourself a free share on Trading212 if you subscribe through my link down below. I think this is still EU only, but UK should be coming soon. So portfolio this week up about 3,000. Not too bad. Fairly quiet week in the markets, really. US jobs figures came out yesterday, quite a bit worse than expected. So dollar moved down and had quite a nice move on the gold and silver stocks in here. So they're only up about sort of £500 overall for the week. But yeah, most of that came on Friday. They were a bit down. But yeah, still obviously patiently waiting for these to perform. And yeah, looking at the ISA, the Trading212 ISA, not bad, about sort of £1,200 up. Some of that has come from the miners. The ARCPI is down a little, which is fine. But mostly this seems to have come from the US REITs. So American Tower up 5.7%, which is probably one of the biggest weekly moves I've seen from it. So that's very good. Broke the 300. Argo sort of fairly flat, but Bitcoin doing quite well at the moment. So seeing this is probably going to break out at some point. The Bitcoin ETP sort of followed Bitcoin a little bit more, obviously, being just Bitcoin. So that's up 4%, which is good. Sentiment, pretty flat. Digital Realty Trust was the other one, 4.6% up. Pretty good. Doesn't seem to have mirrored itself with the UK REITs, but there you go. So First Majestic's up a little. Silver sort of having the bit of a bump on Friday. Yeah, so things like the UK Impact Healthcare not doing quite as well. Not 100% sure why this is just US REITs that seem to be doing well, but there you go, we'll take it. Polymetal sort of fairly flat, just a little down. Primary Health a little down. Realty up a little, but hasn't quite gone as far as sort of more techie ones like American Tower and Digital Realty. But industrial doing well. Stag just under 4% up, so that's pretty good. Nearly 28% up on that now, plus the monthly dividend, so can't complain at that. Sylvania sort of recovering a little from the lows previously, got down to 85p. Wasn't able to buy a great deal of that. Did put a small order in, but didn't actually get filled. So that's a bit irritating, but there you go. Tritax up slightly, still, did break the £2.40, but has come down slightly. But yeah, long term, this just keeps powering ahead. So very happy with that. 31% up now, and Eurobox sort of a little bit flat, but still trailing. And Vici up 4.88%, so sort of similar to the other sort of more techie US REITs. So yeah, that's provided a good amount of the gain this week. So looking at the invest account, so there's been a reasonable amount of move on this. This is £1,800 up. I have added 750 though, sort of deposit this week. And I've made a few changes. I've sold out of Kroger, so it's quite interesting. It was sort of fairly big part of my portfolio, nearly £5,000, and it was up about sort of nearly 40%. But just looking at the sort of historical ratios that they've had, it's sort of at the very high end, sort of on the last 20 years. It is really, I don't like to say only a supermarket, but yeah, they're not exactly growing a huge amount. They're not forecast to grow revenue or profit really over the next year. So you're just really looking at sort of small dividend and continued buybacks. And I thought that could be used sort of better elsewhere. So take the 40% up, and I've bought into 4 different companies. So Airtel Africa seems a very interesting one. I thought, having sold out of BT, I'd sort of go for a different telecoms, but these are obviously in sort of mainland Africa. Not really South Africa, they're sort of the more mainland, Nigeria and Kenya and places like that. Yeah, and they seem to have a sort of fair hold on those sort of countries and expanding quite well, very good value. So yeah, I thought I'd go with those. Chinese tech seems to have been coming back a little this week. Alibaba 6.8%. So that's pretty good. Asos was another one I thought I'd go for. I've been looking at this for a while. Been looking at this and Boohoo. But just thought this was a little bit better value, really. Boohoo obviously growing slightly faster, but just seem to be paying a heavy premium for it. Asos seems sort of a little bit unloved. They sort of, whenever they come out with even sort of average earnings, price seems to drop, and yeah, they've sort of taken a few moves down over the last year. They were at sort of 50, getting up, £55, £57, and yeah, the last sort of month come right down. And yeah, on the Friday, because I was selling Kroger, it sort of came right down. I was going to buy early, but obviously I had to wait until 2:30 in the afternoon to sell Kroger and then buy this, and that sort of meant I was able to buy the bottom on the day pretty much. So it's a huge sort of 5.8% down on the day, or 11.5% down on the week, but I'm actually sort of just about break even on it. So not to say it won't go down further. Can't really see a reason why it is going down, to be honest. They seem to be making really good cash flow. Yeah, so we'll see what news comes out, if there's anything that's caused this drop. Yeah, Viva sort of fairly flat. Baidu's gone with Alibaba, sort of pretty much in parallel, so that's good. Barrett's a little bit down, and Taylor Wimpey down as well. Not a huge move, but yeah, they sort of do these little drops every now and then. Broadcom had a little bit of an up and down week, but pretty good, just about $500 again. Cardinal Health recovering a little from the previous drop. Most of these others are flat. Yes, so the other 2 investments were Hewlett Packard. Seem a bit of a sort of old school stock to go for, but they seem very good value. Obviously, with the sort of work from home, a lot of people are buying sort of laptops and that sort of thing, and they're sort of struggling to meet demand. They've said they're selling everything they can, but they're struggling to get chips and that sort of thing because of the shortage. But yeah, as long as they're sort of selling everything they're producing and making good cash, then yeah, seems a reasonable value investment. They seem to do a hell of amount of buybacks, small dividend as well, or sort of reasonable sized dividend, to be honest. Yeah, so thought I'd go with that. The buybacks kind of, I think, sort of provide a bit of a floor to the price if they're buying sort of 10% of the market cap back near enough every year, it seems. So yeah, hopefully a bit of downside protection and potential for growth. And Highmax Technologies seems an interesting one. Sort of, it's a display chip manufacturer. They don't manufacture themselves, they're fabless, as they call them. So they design them and get them manufactured elsewhere. But yeah, they sort of provide the sort of micro little chips for computer displays and smartphone displays. You're also getting electric vehicles now. Every car seems to have a sort of very large screen, so just seems to be screens everywhere, and Highmax seem to be a sort of a leader in that market. So yeah, pretty good. Thought I'd go for those. Very good value, and yeah, it's dropped sort of quite a bit over the last few months. Couldn't really see why. Profit has just started to hit pretty hard recently. So yeah, pretty good. Not too much move in some of these others. Invesco down a little bit, but couldn't see an issue with that. The emerging markets ETF obviously has a good exposure to Chinese tech, so that's gone up. Japan had quite a big move. I'm not quite sure what caused this, but that's gone from sort of slightly red to slightly green, so pretty happy with that. Clean energy up a little, and Europe sort of down a little. Not too much movement in the rest of these. Johnson & Johnson up slightly. The move to Legal and General Clean Water from iShares Clean Water seems fine. I haven't checked iShares Water, but these sort of do tend to move in somewhat parallel. So 1% on the week for Clean Water. Legal and General had quite a good week, 3.6%. Lockheed down slightly, so was Micron. Nintendo starting to recover a little from its drop, so that's good. Porsche just up slightly. Process, obviously, with the 10-cent rise, sort of with the rest of the Chinese tech, that's gone up. But they've also bought a new payments company in India for $4.7 billion. So sort of doing a bit of napkin maths. I think they've done some buybacks as well, and they bought Stack Overflow, sort of tech Q&A website, basically, for 1.8 billion. So I think that's the majority of the cash that they got from their last 10-cent sale. I think it was about $14 billion. So yeah, I think they've spent a good portion of that now, and yeah, the sort of non-10-cent side of them is growing at a hell of a rate with all of these buys. So it is now more a 10-cent investment plus a reasonable amount of emerging markets sort of companies. So I do like Process. Raytheon down slightly, Renault's down slightly, Rio's flat, Shell down a little, Samsung up a little, so not too much movement in any of these. Siemens up slightly. Sony had quite a good week. Haven't seen particular news on this, but it's gone green again, so that's good. Haven't added any, wasn't adding any sort of at the lows, so it didn't seem tremendous value, but yeah, there just seemed to be better buys at the time, I thought. Stellantis hasn't really moved. TSMC had quite a good move, 4.6%, so again, didn't buy at the lows because they've sort of always been a little bit of a premium buy, but yeah, done quite well sort of over the last month since the drop. Taylor Wimpey went down, similar to Barrett's. Tyson Foods sort of fairly flat for the week. So was Vale just down slightly. Video games ETFs up. Beatrice got a good week, 3.7%. And Volkswagen was pretty flat. So yeah, that's the portfolio. I am looking into Interactive Brokers Direct still. Sort of wondering where to put the sort of next crypto big sales if they're coming later in the year. As I say, I'm not going to want to put the whole lot into Trading212. So I am looking. I sort of had a little look at interactive brokers and thought it was maybe a little bit complicated, but I've been trying the mobile app and that seems quite good. So I may sort of bear with it and consider using it. So yeah, leave your thoughts in the comments below and like and subscribe if you want to see more. See you soon.